Good afternoon, fellow Plexers. I made this video a few days ago for Jason. I almost said Josh. Sorry, Jason. He was asking about Christmas movie collections. So I showed him my collections, which were manual ones, smart ones, and then there's always the automated TMDB ones, the movie database ones that most people aren't even aware of. And I showed him how to push already made collections to his home for himself and his users. So this will be the next video in the series. I've already have a few collection videos on my YouTube Plex support channel, and then I'll do a third video in another day or two to show how to set up pre-rolls from scratch, all Christmas themed. So we'll make a playlist out of all three videos. So let's get started. My prep was to scan my huge movie library, 7,300 titles, almost 7,400 titles, into a new test movie library. I did not want any existing collections made from the movie database until I showed how to create some manual collections and some smart collections. And then I'll show you how to enable those automated ones if you want. And with a large collection like mine, it'll also show you whether you want to do that or not. I like them, but it can be overkill when you have a large number of movies in a collection. All right, so what we'll start with is we'll just start with something easy. Let me go to the eyes, and I'll pick one of my favorite Christmas or Thanksgiving movies. Let's find It's a Wonderful Life. Lots of movies here, folks. And I have to think about what I'm saying as I try to find something out of almost 7,400 movies. So I should have a couple It's a Wonderful Life posters. I have a colorized version that uses edition tags and the regular version. So let me select this here, and I can just click on the other poster. Now I've selected multiple movies. Now let me scroll down to the S's. I'm going to try to find the Santa Claus movies while I have those two already selected. Just click that for the S and start here. Okay, so I wanted the Tim Allen movies. So let me select. I can just touch the poster because I've already selected the first dot. And while I see some more, now I don't want to include these TV movies, the Hallmarky movies, but let me add this one because it's right here. So I have 6 Christmas movies selected. If I select the edit, they're all listed here and 4 others. I'll hit tags, and all I have to do is type the name of the collection I want to see. Christmas collection, and then it says add Christmas collection. This is the necessary step to click here. Save the changes. So now I should see a collection tab once I refresh the web app, and I'm just at app.plex.tv. So now I see the collection tab, and I have this collection that I just created manually. So if I click into it, I see the movies, and they're sorted from oldest to newest. There's not a lot of options. If I edit it and go to the advanced options, my only choices are alphabetical or the original order they were in or custom. Now you can drag these around. That would be the custom option. It's a lot of work. So let's go back and edit it. Advanced. I'll change it back to release date. If someone's looking through a collection, instead of having things ordered alphabetically, I think it's better to have it ordered with this option, oldest to newest, because if they want to watch a particular movie, they might not know the exact year it was on or it was released, but they might know the decade, and they can go through your collection. Say you got 40 Christmas movies, they can find the decade pretty quick and then find the movie they want to watch. So that's a manual collection. Now you could also do it for, let's see, what else can you do? You could do some Christmas horror movies. Let's get on to this. There's a movie, I think it's called Black Santa. And this will be my last manual example. All right, where am I? My memory might not be correct either. Is it Bad Santa? Let's go to the movie database. I thought it was Black Santa. Bad Santa isn't quite a, no, it's not Black Santa. What am I thinking of? There's a horror movie. Well, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I don't know the name of the horror movie, but you could create your own horror Christmas collection if you can think of some of those movies and you have them in your collection. So let's fix this up a little bit. Hold on just a second. Let's get some artwork for this so this looks better. And there's a couple options. You have the poster database, which is wonderful. And you also have cover labs that you can create your own artwork. Now I've created a manual Christmas adjacent collection, and I use this to do that. So it'll have this element and you add your own picture inside of it. So when you click on it, you download a photo you want, you drag it in here, and then you save it as a poster. It's a really nice option when you can't find a poster you want. The best option is the poster database. So I'm going to search for Christmas, the keywords there. I had trouble making this video yesterday because of the Cloudflare issues that was going on, so I scrapped it, and I'm basically repeating it again today. So we've searched for Christmas, and then we have some tabs: movie, shows, collections, users, and categories. Now, collections may seem right, but these are movie collections, not poster collections. Categories is what you want, and there's one option, Christmas, and then there's a zillion posters here. So you can basically just keep looking and seeing what looks good to you. So here's a Christmas horror poster if you want to create that collection manually. Now this is what I use on my regular server for my normal Christmas collection. So let's look through and see if there's something else unique. This one's pretty cool. I'm going to grab this one. Let's say Christmas manual collection poster. If you come up with a naming scheme for all your collection posters and even your backgrounds, if you ever have to point a new Plex server at your media and you save all these posters in a file or a folder with your media, maybe Plex movie posters and Plex movie backgrounds, or put all those in one folder, you can restore things quicker, create the collections, and then you don't spend forever finding the artwork again. All right, let's go to Google and we'll find a background. And you can tell this is part of what I did yesterday. Well, that is square. That's not what I want. That's square too, but let's slide down. It's not quite as widescreen as I'd like, but that's close enough. So I'm going to click on this name and just change poster to background. Now we'll go back to Plex, and I'll hit the pencil icon in the lower left. Let's do the background first. All right, I think this delay is still due to Cloudflare. So there's the background. Let's click on poster, choose an image, and I'll do the poster that I grabbed from the poster database and save it. And now I have a really nice looking collection. Now, not every client app shows the poster. The web app doesn't. I don't think the HTPC client app does either, and I'm pretty sure my Android TV app does, but I can't remember exactly. So we can still edit it, and you can even add a summary. You can put anything you want here for the pleasure of yourself and your users. So that's a manual collection. Let's do a smart collection. Well, actually, let's do another dumb collection, but we'll use a feature that you normally use to create a smart collection. So let me click the Add To. Normally this is where you do a Create Smart Collection. Well, I'm going to go through part of that process. And let's just put some qualifiers in here. First of all, let me do the genre of horror. So I've got 945 movies that fit that description. So now if I slide down, all right, here's Black Christmas. Let me grab that. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. I thought there was a Santa movie that began with a B. All right, here's Christmas, Bloody Christmas. And here's Christmas Evil and a Christmas Horror Story. Okay, I'm hitting pay dirt here. That's enough. I've got 4 items selected. So I can still edit all of them from this screen. I'll edit them, hit tags, and I would call this Christmas Horror. We'll click that to add it, save the changes, and now when I hit the collection tab, I have this other manual collection. And you can go out to the poster database and find a poster that suits you. We won't duplicate that. You watch me do it once. So those are 2 manual collections. Now let's create a really, well, we'll do an easy Christmas collection, and then we'll do a more difficult one, and then I'll show you how to get the TMDB collections in. So I'm going to click this again and then add to, I'm sorry, not add to. I'll click Create Smart Collection, and this is all my movies. So what I want to look for is, I think, is it producer or director? Let's try producer. And I'm just going to start typing R-A-N-K. No, I don't think it's producer. Maybe it's director. Is it studio? Let me edit this for a second. I'm going to pause you. I think there's an easier way than the direction I'm going. I'll be right back. All right, I was on the right area, but I want is instead of contains. Now I can start typing. Let's type this over. And just with the keyword of rank, you see Rankin Bass Productions. Now this is pulling in all those classic holiday movies that we grew up with if you're a boomer. And I'm going to change the sort from title to release date. And I now have newest to oldest. So let me click on release date again. It will reverse the direction of that arrow. And now I have the older ones first. But I noticed that something didn't scan in. Let me click that. Well, there may not be a good poster for this because the rest of the metadata came in. Let's look at that. Well, I could fix that while I'm still working on the collection. So I like the looks of that. Let me steal this name. And we will create this as a smart collection. So I'll click the Save As. I'll paste in my name. And I'm just going to leave it Rankin Bass Productions. I could do Rankin. Well, you could do that. Let's make it look a little bit better. No, actually, I don't like that. Let's get rid of collection. It'll be too long. Let's do Christmas by Rankin Bass. We'll create that. Go back to the collection tab. And now I have that. And let's just check this. Let's do a search. There's Rankin Bass Christmas collections, and you have some options. This looks kind of cute. So we'll edit that poster in. Normally that's instant. That's why I think there's a little Cloudflare issue going on, because this is the web-based access to Plex. Okay, so that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Christmas by Rankin Bass, Christmas collection, Christmas horror, and this signifies it's a smart collection. Now, you may want to change your names a little bit because maybe you want your Christmas collection to show before this. So if we rename this, let's rename this from it changes the order. So that stuff may be important to you, it may not be. Okay, let me pause you and I'll prep to do the bigger hallmarky type of collection. And I'm back. So this one is going to be a complex collection, but once you get it set up, you can keep editing it to capture more movies. I want to capture TV movies that are not animated, that are not a biography, and that are captured based on Christmas keywords like Christmas holiday, that sort of things. And I want to avoid capturing anything that's not that way. So the reason I wanted to start with a fresh library that didn't have any collections was I wanted to showcase an issue with a collection like this that we're going to create. Let's go back up to the top. We're also going to capture based on the genre of TV movies. And I have a couple of movies here that won't be captured. If I edit these and I go to tags, there's no TV genre to capture it. So we'll have to remember this because oh, this one is a TV movie. And if I didn't mention it, I have one unlisted movie in my whole library. Let me go to Unmatched. And the reason it was a friend of mine's favorite Christmas production of The Nutcracker, and I've added custom media on my regular Plex library, and that's part of my main Christmas collection. Just for one friend to watch what makes them happy at Christmas time. Okay, so some of these movies aren't going to have the TV movie genre applied. So if you're starting fresh with this with an existing library, you may want to go through and find those manually just to do this. Just like that. Start typing TV, the TV movie option will pop up, you click on it and add it. And now this will be added based on a keyword. So a fresh library allowed me to show that. So let's create that Hallmarky Christmas collection, the Smart Collection. Not add to, we want to choose create Smart Collection. Okay, so what we have to do is, just as it is, add all the following. We have to add 3 genre options. The first one will be TV movies. And then the next one, I'm working off screen here, we'll hit the plus again and we'll choose genre again. This time we'll choose is not, and we'll pick animation. Now look at the count. We went down from thousands of movies to 656 with the first sort. And now we'll click the second sort and we'll drop a few more movies. So if we remove that and we scroll down, we should find some Peanuts movies and some Disney movies. I got my poster sizes pretty big there. Oh, I've got a Bible movie. All because it's a TV movie. Any TV movie is going to pop in because we haven't added any qualifiers yet. Oh, I saw an animated movie down below, a Disney movie. So we're trying to sort out those. So let me do this again. Pick genre, is not. And we'll choose animation. We'll do that one more time for the same qualifier. And again, is not. And this time we'll do biography. Those religious movies are categorized under biography, believe it or not. All right, so now we're down to just TV movies, but there's a lot of TV movies that we don't want. We don't want Halloween Town or the big one. So now we're going to start getting rid of what we don't want. So it's not going to work if we add another qualifier here, because we can't have match all the following for the next qualifier. So we'll hit the 3 dots and we'll add rule group. And now we can have the title contains. It could be not contain, is not, begins with, or ends with. And let me explain that. Christmas can be anywhere in the title if I type Christmas and have it be contained. If it is, the movie title has to be exactly Christmas, same as is not to exclude it. Then begins with or ends with is obvious. The movie has to begin with the word Christmas if that's a qualifier, or end with it if I pick that one. So contains is what I want. So we're at 565 movies sorted. Let's type Christmas. We drop down to 315. So from this area and not this area, I can do this again. Title contains is the default, and I want to see that. Let me do holiday. Oh. My mistake. So I should have changed this to any. Now when I add a second title, let's do holiday, that captured more movies. So at this point, I'm going to save the collection. We have more work to do, but I'm going to call this Christmas Countdown. And we know that's a copywritten term or a trademark term from a certain TV network, right? But I kind of like that. Oh, misspelled Christmas. Okay, so now we're capturing this, but everything's sorted alphabetical. So let's hit the 3 dots. We can do it here, Or if we back up and we're in the collection tab, we can hit the three dots here. And again, the movie poster is pulling from just 4 random posters being shown at once. We'll hit the 3 dots, edit filters, and I'm back. Let's change the sort. I want to see the newest movies first. And I have 2 options. I can do a year sort, or I like it better this way. I can do release date. Now I see the actual release date. You won't see that as a user in a client app. If you wanted to reverse that sort, you just click it again. This arrow changes down and this one is now up. It's kind of backwards, but now we have the oldest TV Christmas movies coming up first, and actually any movie that has the title Christmas or Holiday. So let's put the sort back to what I like to see. And we're still not capturing all the movies, but we've got a lot just with these 2 qualifiers. So I have probably 25 qualifiers. I won't go through all of them. But when I add a movie that's not captured, let's update the collection. That's when I add a new qualifier. So let's go to the movie library. And I spoke of this. This is not captured, and it's kind of a weird example. This is a word according to Plex. When you're searching for the keyword Christmas, it says as a word, worst Christmas ever, or hashtag worst Christmas ever, is not anything besides one word to Plex. So I need to add this as a qualifier to capture this specific movie, if that makes sense to you. And again, it also has to have the TV movie genre, which we added earlier. So if I go to this collection and I edit it, edit filters, and I'm looking through, see how I've got the separate sections at the bottom for the genre, which correspond with this, match all the following, and then I have these title examples under match any of the followings. I have to click here and not there. So now the title can contain or also be is. That will work too. So that brought that in. So let me do some other common keywords. Let's do snow. Watch this number grow. We've got 346. And without it 341. So I brought in 5 movies just with that keyword. And then let's do miracle. Oh, I clicked in the wrong area. I clicked up here and not where I need to be clicking. So now we're up to 352, and I know someplace I brought in Miracle on 42nd Street. A couple different versions. Let's drop down and see if we can find it. Oh no, Miracle on 42nd Street was a movie release, not a TV movie release, but I think in 1994, was there another release? And I might have to go find that to see if it says TV movie. That one may not have been a TV movie. My memory may be off. All right, let's add some more. Let's add gingerbread. So that only added 1 movie. Let's add mistletoe. 353 to 363. That added 10 movies. Let's add Santa. Now I'm just going to copy and paste from my real library. 363 to 374. So you kind of get it. Here's a Christmas themed. I think there's multiple movies from one of those Hallmarky networks. Let's add Sister Swap. Did that not do what I wanted? Okay, now I have to investigate that, right? All right, hold on a minute. Let me find out what's going on, why that's not working. Oh, I know exactly why it's not working. 374. Let's go into this movie library to the S's. Let's find those sister swap movies. There might even be a collection. Let's edit this. Tag. Oh, it is a TV movie. 2021. That's a TV movie also. Okay, let's take a look. We'll edit that. Let's go down to 2021. But I can't do it this way. I'm too brain dead to remember too much at once. So bear with me. So this is me showing you that not every video is scripted or perfect, and that I come up with examples to create rabbit holes with. Let's try to figure this out together. Okay. 12/5/21 for that one. That's the date. And this one is 12/12/21. Okay, let's try this again. We'll hit the three dots and we'll edit it. Now let's see what's going on, if they're truly here or not. Oh yeah, here's this one. And there's that one. Now why didn't this change? You can skip ahead if you want. Were they already captured some other way? Oh, Sister Swap Christmas Holiday. That's why I don't need these Sister Swap, because Christmas and Holiday captures both of them. All right, let's do two more qualifiers. So again, I have to click here. Wonderland increased it, and now let's do Hanukkah. Hanukkah brought it up two more. So let's update the collection, and now let's look for a nice poster. So I can stay here, or I can do it from the collection tab. We still have the TMDB collections to add. All right, so we want a hallmarky type of poster. So let's go here, and let's get back to Christmas. and we'll pick categories. We'll click into the Christmas category. And I think it's on the second page. Let's grab this while we're here. And maybe it's not the second page. Let's go to the third page. Let's start fresh. Oh, it's right on the first page. Let me grab this one. Okay, so we've got some posters. Let's apply the Christmas countdown. Oh, my previous one that I edited came up. Let's use the one we downloaded it. Save the changes. Let's do the Christmas horror one. And we have some nice looking Christmas collections. 2 manual ones, this one and that one, and 2 smart collections. So the only thing with this Hallmarky one is, again, if something doesn't pull in, you'll have to add the keyword to it. And you also have to make sure when you add the movie to your server that it's listed as a TV movie. Okay, so now we're going to add in all the TMDB ones. And remember, we've got 4 collections here. You know how to push them to home from the first video. So from any view, recommended library or collection, hit the 3 dots for the library, go to Manage Library and Edit, go to Advanced, and drop down to this minimum automatic collection size. This is disabled by default when you create a Plex movie library. There are 4 options: 1 movie, 2, 3, or 4 movies. If you choose the first option, any movie that's part of a TMDB collection, and let's show that first. Let's show Santa Claus, the Tim Allen movies. So you see there's an option here in collections. There's 1 collection. If I click into it, those are the 3 movies. If I click into any individual movies, it doesn't always load when you scroll down. I don't know why, but if you scroll back up and you wait 3 or 4 seconds and scroll back down, you'll see the collection. So if I view the collection, it leads back to the same place. These are the TMDB automated collection, and let's just admit, with over 7,000 movies in this library, this is going to create a lot of collections. But I want to show that you can do it after the fact and watch me create all these collections before you decide if you want them all too. So I'm going to choose 2, which means I have to have at least 2 movies in a collection before the collection is created. That prevents single item collections from being created. You might want to choose 3 or 4. 3 would bring in Back to the Future, but it won't bring in a collection that only had 2 movies in it. 4, you'd have to have larger collections. Think things like the James Bond collection, the Fast and Furious collections, and things like that. I'll pick 2. Then you have an option of how to display them. This shows the collections in the library tab along with the movies. This hides the collections in the library tab but shows the individual movies, and this hides the individual movies that are in the collections, but it shows the collection in the library tab. All 3 options put the collections in the collection tab. I will leave it default. Save the changes, and Plex is going to go to work. And if I rescan or if I refresh the web app every once in a while, we should see some of the collections pick up. This is going to take a while, so it's 2:25. I'll pause it and I'll come back every 5 minutes or so, and we'll show you where we're at. I was actually replying to a text, and when I refreshed the library, nothing happened, or the web app, and I understand why. The second step to adding these is to I think refresh all the metadata. I don't think we have to scan the library to start creating these. So we're all actually scanning the library because we've refreshed the metadata. So let me refresh the web app and see if we have anything. All right, they're starting to come in now. So enable the setting, refresh the metadata, and you do that by the 3 dots, manage library, and refresh the metadata. So I'll let this run for a little bit. I'll let it run for maybe 10 minutes, and we'll come back, and then we'll end the video, and tomorrow I'll make the Christmas pre-roll video, and that'll really give your server a nice touch. Be back soon. Okay, we're back, and wherever we are, we are. So let me refresh this. All right, we have a lot of collections already, and there's more coming in. How many collections? You can tell by going to the library tab. And if we're searching by title, currently we've got 7602. If we change the sort to year, now we have 7371. So I've got over 200 collections, and there'll probably be 400 by the time it's done. So you may not want these automated TMDB collections, but that doesn't mean you can't go to see what collections there are and decide to create some manual ones based on these, because the posters are already here. So if you're at this collection and you create this manually, you can go here to posters and you can pick a collection poster to download for the manual collection you created. Or you can simply set it for 3 movies and not create as many of these 2-item collections. You could start with 4, see how you like it. Then go back in and change the settings to 3 movies, refresh the metadata again. Just realize that if you're doing 2 movies at least, it's going to create a shit ton of collections. I don't know, I guess we'll leave it in your hands for whether you use the TMDB automated collections. I like them. The only thing I don't like is with my Android TV clients, Fire TV clients, and I'm not sure about Roku. A couple years ago, Plex removed the ability to have these little alphabetical quick jumps inside the client apps, and it's still here in the web app. With a lot of collections, if one of your users know they want to get down to a collection that starts with N, they can do it pretty quickly. The web app flies, but using a streaming device, it's a lot slower to move down through the collections, which kind of makes them useless when there's so many. So TMDB collections, use at your own risk. Thanks for watching, and tomorrow I'll try to get out the pre-roll video. Happy Plexing.